Good morning, everyone. So I'm William Rogers. I'm the president and the CEO of Goodwill San Francisco, San Mateo, Marin. I want to... And I want to welcome all of you, our friends, our supporters, our partners. We are here today to celebrate together the grand opening of Goodwill's state-of-the-art Training and Career Center. So I want to just take a moment to do a couple things. One, can we show a little bit of love to the retail team? This is This store is opening tomorrow, and it is going to be beautiful. They did a great job. I also want to give special thanks to the Honorable Mayor Breed. Thank you so much for being here. To the Honorable Willie Brown. Supervisor Peskin, we moved from your district to your district. I want to thank the PUC, because without the PUC, we would have never gotten into the building on time, so thank you to the PUC. I also want to thank, I call her Shelley BB, but Shelley Bradford Bell, who was the former president of the Planning Commission, and Erin Peskin introduced me to her, and she came up to me and she said, "Mr. Rogers, so nice to meet you, and I want you to know I'm 100% against your project, but I got an open mind." I'm like, all right. And we spent 3 hours together, and after that 3-hour period, she looked at me and she goes, "I hate you." And I said, "Why is that?" She goes, "Because I'm 100% for your project." I also want to thank Tidewater, who's here. Tidewater actually managed this project, so thank you so much. RMW Architects, and then some of our partners, Red F. The City and County of San Francisco has been amazing. Mayor Breed, your staff has been amazing. I also want to thank some of our funders who are here, the Correct Foundation, Microsoft, Google, Wells Fargo, Salesforce, and LinkedIn. Thank you all for being here today. So the building that we're standing in right now was built in 1914, and it has been in San Francisco actually for as long as San Francisco Goodwill has been in San Francisco. Who knew that, right? So we've both been here for over 100 years. This building has been a parking garage, it's been an art gallery, and now it is home to a training and community center, a training and career center for this community to participate, share, and learn in. So I'd like to take a quick moment now to introduce our board chair, Eric Sipple. He served on the board for almost 3 years. He's an influential entrepreneur. He's a philanthropist, a volunteer, and just a compassionate human being. So I just want to introduce Eric Sipple.
I usually don't get such a nice introduction, so thank you. We are proud to be moving here to the Tenderloin. It's really, really exciting to be in this space. There are going to be so many great opportunities for us to partner with such great organizations here, and I can't tell you how proud we are to be here. As an investor, I look for misunderstood organizations where there's a real difference between perception and reality, that are managed by strong management teams, driven by strong purpose, where my investment, whether it's of time or money, can make a real difference. So I want to unpack that for a second. And so really what's misunderstood about Goodwill is our mission. When I talk to most people out there, people really don't seem to understand what we stand for and why we're doing what we're doing. So I think that really the best way to understand it is the old story about if you catch a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. If you teach the man how to fish, he'll eat for life. And that's what we're all about. We're all about providing second chances by providing jobs and training for those who have barriers to employment, whether it's formerly incarcerated, recovering addicts, people who struggle with English as a second language, veterans, and a whole bunch of other people that really need a second chance. And I'm really proud to be part of this organization to help that. Of course, we have strong management. That's another thing we look for with William and his team. It's fabulous. And I really feel like we're making a difference here. I feel like we're addressing housing insecurity, we're addressing food insecurity, we're addressing mental illness by providing job training and jobs. So I really appreciate all of you coming today, and I hope we can do great things together. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric. So almost everybody knows something about Goodwill, right? You might know us as a donation site where you drop off the stuff you no longer want or need. You might know us as a store to find a treasure or get a good deal. And yet, we are so much more than that. Today, no matter what you know about Goodwill, I'm going to ask you to take a closer look. And when you take a closer look, what you'll find is that San Francisco Goodwill is, by its very nature, and with great intention, an innovator in our approach to workforce development, sustainability, and economic inclusion. We focus on those who face barriers to employment. That's who we partner with. And we are highly unique in our approach. So we provide paid employment with benefits, industry training, customized career support, all under one roof. But in fact, we've learned that that's not enough. We've also created programs to help people develop the resilience and confidence to be successful in today's ever-changing labor market. Because we know that the world of work is rapidly evolving, and we all need to be ready. When you take a closer look at Goodwill, you'll see an organization that is highly committed to sustainability. You'll learn that we divert over 31 million pounds every year from the landfills. You'll learn that we were one of the first entities in the United States to convert half of our fleet to electric trucks. So now we have 11 electric-powered commercial trucks with no tailpipe emissions. And with these trucks, every year we eliminate 55,000 diesel emissions and replace them with clean, quiet, zero emissions. Over the next couple years, we will use 40,000 gallons less diesel fuel, and that enables us to reduce carbon emissions by 400 tons. What you'll also learn is through our computer technology recycling and refurbishing program, we divert over 3 million pounds of electronic waste from entering our landfills every year. And last year, we refurbished over 200,000 electronic units for reuse. This year, we began working with textile recycling innovators who can take a shirt that's 50% cotton, 50% polyester, separate that polyester from the cotton, and actually use that as virgin fiber to make new clothing. So for the stuff that we get that's torn or ripped or stained, we will be able to recycle those things and make them into new clothing. When you take a closer look at Goodwills in the state of California, you'll see that Goodwills drove 2.4% of the state's job growth. And that was by creating jobs for people who have been left behind and left out. I'm the current chair of the California Council of Goodwills. I always hear the 4% all-time low unemployment rate in the state of California. But what we know about that is that that unemployment rate is significantly higher for the populations that we serve. So the fact that Goodwills in the state of California have driven that 2.4% of the state's job growth with the populations that we serve is a significant accomplishment, and we're just getting started. Today, I'm also inviting you to take a closer look at our facility. We're excited to have you tour our training center a little bit later today after the program, where you'll see the Goodwill Microsoft Makerspace, which is the first of its kind in this neighborhood. You'll learn about our career pathways and career services, which include trainings that span from technology certifications to growth mindset. You'll also get to experience our computer refurbishing team in action. Our work at Goodwill is centered on the belief that everyone deserves access to a career pathway that can lead to economic security, and that the right combination of work experience, skill development, and confidence can accelerate a person's economic mobility. We are very proud of what we do, and yet we are also very clear we don't do it alone. Our work is strengthened by our partners and our collaborators, and many of you are here today, and I thank you for that. People can change their lives. In fact, people do change their lives when given a chance. Together, we have an opportunity to transform lives, support families, and strengthen communities through training and the dignity of work. The collective power in this room is tremendous. We have the opportunity to make a real difference and to foster a legacy of keeping San Francisco the special place that it is. And so today, let's celebrate our new home. Tomorrow, let's roll up our sleeves and work together to create a new legacy where San Francisco works for everyone and where everyone in San Francisco can work. Thank you. Thank you. I now have the great and distinct pleasure of introducing a true trailblazer, the Mayor of San Francisco, Mayor London Breed. A native of San Francisco, you've been a fierce advocate for more equitable and just San Francisco. I know she needs no introduction, but I'm so proud and happy that you're here. I'm so pleased everyone welcome Mayor Breed.
Thank you. I gotta say, this place is phenomenal. It is absolutely amazing, and I have just really a long history with the Goodwill, especially during the time when I served as the executive director for the African American Art and Culture Complex. I grew up in the Western Addition community, and I had people who were coming home from prison who were struggling with trying to find job opportunities, and the only folks that were willing to work with me and work with people in the community was Goodwill Industries. And I'm really grateful for that because as you, I'm sure, still hear today, so many people talk about the difficulties of finding employment opportunities after they have unfortunately, they've served their time and they're coming back into society and they want, a new start, a fresh start. And I'm proud of San Francisco for the work that we did when I served on the Board of Supervisors in making sure that people who have a criminal record, it's not used as a barrier to employment, even for city employment in San Francisco, because we have to start changing the stigma that's attached to people who sadly, have gone through the criminal justice system, they've done their time, they want a second chance, and Goodwill has done this and made this an important part of their program before anyone else started to do it. And so we really appreciate the fact that Goodwill is so many things, including a trailblazer. So thank you so much for the work that you continue to do for the city, in addition to the young adult court, which is really an important part of the work that we do to make sure that first-time offenders have an opportunity to get a job, to work, to develop a career, because we've seen how being a part of this community of Goodwill has really changed people's lives for the better. And so it does mean a lot for me to be here and to see a lot of this stuff come full circle and see how much more innovative and exciting Goodwill has become over the years. And I'm excited about doing even more. In San Francisco, we know that there is more to be done. And part of some of the work that we have been able to do with people who, I kind of got this idea from you when we went to your location out on Clement Street. And we talked about the drivers for Goodwill and the challenges with their suspended license and how they couldn't drive the trucks, but they could work for the companies and they knew how to drive. And one of the things we did, Aaron Peskin, thank you for your support on making sure that we were getting rid of some of the past fees and other things and giving people a clean start so that they can get their license and they can get employment opportunities like things that are offered through the Goodwill as well. It really is a partnership. And we can't change the city for the better alone. We need organizations who care deeply, who are invested in the people of San Francisco. And Goodwill, for the past 103 years, in San Francisco in particular, has been demonstrating time and time again, it really is about providing an opportunity for people to take care of themselves and making sure that they have a thriving, a comfortable community to do so, because it is challenging when you sadly were out on the streets and using drugs and the stigma attached to that when you're trying to get clean and stay sober and work and turn your life around. The Goodwill welcomes you with open arms. When you have a criminal past and you want a second chance and you don't want people to keep judging you because you made a mistake in the past, the Goodwill welcomes you with open arms, time and time again. And so I just wanted to be here to express my true appreciation for the work that you have done and what you will continue to do. And that's why we have to be a good community partner with you. The city has to be willing to make things easier for you to do the incredible work that you do to change and save lives. We know the challenges that exist around homelessness in the city and people struggling with mental illness and addiction, and we are working on a number of innovative solutions to try and address what is a real crisis on our streets. But the good news is that when we are able to help somebody, we know that we can rely on the Goodwill to be there for us and say yes each and every time. When I decided that it was time to open a job training center in the OMI community, in the Lakeview community of San Francisco, because we saw that the unemployment numbers were higher there than most parts of the city, Goodwill, again, was right there, and we're going to be hosting a job fair in that location with you tomorrow. So time and time again, we know when we bring forth the kinds of ideas that really help people and open the doors, we know that good things can happen. And so I'm just grateful for your work and your service, and I wanted to do something really special. Clearly, there's a lot of enthusiastic and excited people that are here today because this place is absolutely beautiful. And more importantly, the people who work here, the people who work for Goodwill are absolutely beautiful because they love this organization and they love the work that they've been able to do to really help so many people. And so today, William and Eric, I'm going to ask you both to come up. And do you want to join us, Supervisor, since you're here? And I know you have your certificate, but mine's first. On behalf of the City and County of San Francisco, I would like to declare today Goodwill in San Francisco Day in the City and County of San Francisco. Thank you. Come on, Supervisor. Here, hold my certificate. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So actually, Mayor Bree, we have something for you.
For me?
For you, yes. We have, as you know, our Microsoft Makerspace.
Do you have a coupon for me?
Right? We have our Microsoft Makerspace.
Yes.
And the joke was supposed to be, you could never be duplicated. But then we were able to duplicate you in our Microsoft Makerspace. But then we decided not to do that. We want to give you two things. And these are actually the importance of the Makerspace is not only, so we have all sorts of things in the Makerspace where folks can create things. And so they're learning about software, and they're also able to do 3D printing. So what we wanted to give to you today is actually on the etcher, we were able to
Oh my goodness.
etch a photo of the mayor. So,
That's pretty cool.
so we wanted to give you that.
Thank you.
And that is something, oh, I'm sorry, says I.
Kind of weird having a.
I know.
Okay.
Well, you know what the first idea was? That somebody actually suggested that we make a little mini a doll of you. And we're like, yeah, let's not do that. And then the other thing we want to give you, and this is actually something that was 3D printed, and this is a key to Goodwill, because we want you to know this is always your home.
Oh,
So thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, you want me? Okay, sorry. Thank you. So now I'd like to take a moment to introduce the supervisor for this district, who has been a fierce advocate for Goodwill. I am actually so happy that it's funny, we were in over by Bay Street, and we were in Aaron's district, and then we moved here, and we were in Supervisor Peskin's district, and we were like, yay, that's good. We really admire your willingness to tackle the tough issues, and we really look forward to working with you. And so I just want to say thank you so much for being here, and I want to introduce you to come up and say a few words. So thank you so much.
Unfortunately, Will Rogers stole all of my material because I was going to tell the Shelley Bradford Bell story. But actually, it bespeaks volumes not only about Goodwill, but about Will Rogers. And the way Will has gone about this truly is Goodwill. And I say that because he doesn't just walk the walk. He actually talks the talk. And when I say that, I mean he talks to the community. So when I freaked out when you were leaving Bay Street and I thought, oh no, I'm gonna have to drive further, because remember, I used to be able to go by City Hall, and of course the city and county has been inextricably linked with Goodwill now for many years because of that site. I found out that they were coming to the southern end of my district, so appropriately so. And then Will asked, who do I reach out to? How do I become a part of that community? And there was not just Shelley Bradford Bell, who immediately said, I don't want them in my neighborhood. And I thought, wow, that's exactly what the people at Bay Street said when they moved there, only they learned to love Goodwill, and Goodwill learned to love that community. And that's been the case here. So I just want to thank you for really walking the walk and reaching out to the community. And we have more exciting things that are happening. You will see soon, the mayor will announce soon, a new partnership between the city and county of San Francisco and Goodwill just down the street that involves Tidewater, but I'll leave that for another day. But we have just begun. Thank you, guys. Thanks.
Now I'd like to take a moment to introduce another trailblazer. This is incredibly meaningful to me because this is somebody who I've known for a long time, for the last 6 years. He got a much deserved second chance here at Goodwill, and he's gone on to create incredibly meaningful job opportunity for himself. After coming here, he had had some justice involvement. He came to Goodwill and worked in retail, and everybody thinks, oh, everybody doesn't want a retail job. The fact of the matter is that we really do try to figure out what people want to do. We found that this young man had a aptitude for technology. And so we put him into an internship program in technology. He did very well. We hired him into our IT program. He did exceptionally well. And then at some point, we said, you know what, you got to go from a hobbyist to a professional. And what that means is you got to get your industry certifications. And he said, I can't do it. I did not do well in school. I have struggled on tests, et cetera, and that prompted us to create a training in the growth mindset to help everybody who comes through, because we know that a lot of folks who come through Goodwill, they've been beaten down, right? And we need to create opportunity. We need to make sure that folks have a level of confidence in their ability, in their innate abilities. So Mr. Blazer is somebody who, where is Mr. Blazer? Oh, there you are, right there. Don't be nervous, Chris. It's all good. So what we're doing is, I typically do not like to celebrate people for the worst thing they've ever done in their lives. I like to celebrate people for their accomplishments. And today we are celebrating Chris for his accomplishments. He actually came to us about 6 months ago. So he worked for Goodwill. I'm sorry, he worked for Goodwill, but he actually no longer works for Goodwill. And that's because about 6 months ago he came to us and he said, Will, I got another job and they're going to pay me X amount more per year and blah 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 blah. And he said, so I got to go. I got 2 daughters, blah blah blah. I said, I got you. And I said, but you know what? You've become way too valuable to us. And with all your certifications, I remember when you got your certifications, you even stopped saying hello to me after you got your certifications. and we wound up saying, you know what, you're too valuable to us. We're going to beat your offer. And we did. And then about 3 months later, he came to us and he goes, so Will, they're offering me another $25,000 a year. And we're like, Chris, that sounds like a great opportunity. Which is really the point, right? It's really helping people. Our values are learning, belonging, and safety. And Chris was able to develop the skills, get the industry certifications. There was a point at which he would have never been hired anywhere else because people would have labeled him in a particular way. But he did this. And so we're here, Chris, today to celebrate you. We have a little something for you, but before, I'd just like to introduce you so you can address the crowd. So.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. My name is Chris Blazer. Feels good to be here home at Goodwill. 1 month before I was supposed to graduate from high school, I was arrested. And I had squandered my opportunity to get my diploma, which set a negative trend that my life would follow for the next few years. All the way up until I was about 23, I was in and out of jail. At the time, my oldest daughter was 3 years old, and I didn't have a legitimate means of supporting her. A friend suggested that I go to the Goodwill to look for a job. And Goodwill hired me, gave me my first real introduction into the workforce. Soon after I was hired, as Will stated, they saw that I had an aptitude for technology, so they moved me into a paid internship with their IT department. They recognized something in me that I hadn't even recognized in myself at that point, quite honestly. They put me in a position to have a career, but they did tell me that I had to go from hobbyist to professional, which, as William stated, meant that I had to go out and get my certifications, which I'm now A+, Security Plus, and Network Plus certified. I was nervous, but Goodwill reassured me that they were fully invested in my growth professionally. Soon I had work experience and tech certifications, including the Goodwill Google IT certification, which I got right before I left. Goodwill was the only place where I didn't have to choose between working and gaining tech skills. I was able to do both. Their constant reassurance that they would help me through my barriers to employment rather than hold them against me made me feel safe here. The diversity of the workforce gave me a sense of belonging. I never felt judged by my past. And because of their willingness to invest in my growth, I learned here, which are the 3 core values of Goodwill: safety first, belonging, and learning. And eventually came the day when a different employer was willing to offer me a position. I went to Goodwill. I went to William. I said, you know, I've been offered an opportunity. I was a little nervous. They were definitely happy for me, but they definitely said, we do value you a lot, so we want to beat that offer, which they did. So I stayed. But as they say, all good things must come to an end. And eventually, I was offered a second position, and you know, they like you said, that sounds like an excellent opportunity. You might want to go pursue that. So now I work as an engineer at a tech consulting firm. Thank you. Now I have 2 daughters, and they've watched me grow professionally, and our lives have gotten so much better because of my economic stability. 7 years ago, I couldn't imagine anyone offering me the type of positions that I'm being offered now, but today, I expect to continue to get those offers. I want to thank Goodwill for putting me in a position to chase this career. And just like Goodwill, I ask you to take a closer look at me and my true value. I'm giving back to my community by remaining a leader and inspiration, especially to those who also may need a second chance. Thank you.
Good. It's all good. You want to get a picture from that? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You know, okay. Mayor Breed, Chris's one request is to get a photo with you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Oh, you want me in there? Okay. All right.
Really proud of you.
Thank you.
Congratulations. This is so good.
So we just want to honor Chris today with a certificate. Really, we want to offer you. We want to. I don't know why I'm a little verklempt right now.
My nervousness is transferring.
It's transferred. You know how I feel about you, and I'm just incredibly proud of you. So you are getting the achievement of Goodwill's Workforce Warrior. And this is in honor of your demonstration of a successful and inspirational professional pathway within Goodwill and beyond. Best wishes for your continued growth. We know there's so much more you're going to continue to accomplish. We also have a gift for you, which I hope you and your family enjoy. But you have done a tremendous job both for yourself, for the community, for your family. I'm really proud of you. I know your daughters are really proud of you. They saw you go from working, from not working to working, and now you are in the STEM field, my friend.
Yeah, trying to thrive.
So congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, I now have the honor of introducing 2 people in the same breath that you might not always think of talking about in the same breath. These are 2 of the top competing global tech industries, just saying, who Google and Microsoft, who are coming together. I mean, so let's be clear. You compete, but you're coming together to support people with barriers to employment. So I'm going to start by introducing Katie Brown. Katie? Oh, right here. There you are. Sorry, Katie. So come on up. Katie is the Vice President of Enterprise Sales of the West Region at Microsoft, who's the lead sponsor of our Goodwill Microsoft Makerspace, and who's the grant that allowed for learning possibilities beyond what residents have had in their past. So, Katie, welcome.
Thank you. So thank you so much. I have to tell you, it is absolutely an honor to be here and to be part of this project. I am deeply touched by what I've heard this morning and all that's been accomplished, at the Goodwill. And Chris, I think we might be able to up that offer if you're interested. So come talk to me. I'm serious about that. I've been a resident of San Francisco for 30 years, and I've had the opportunity to work for 3 companies based here as well. And I care deeply, very, very deeply about this city and this community. And I can't even tell you how touched I am to see what's happening today with the Goodwill and all that you guys are doing. So very, very much appreciated. We are thrilled to be part of this process, and we've been a partner of the Goodwill for the last 14 years. Jason Ford, who is on my team, is a member of the board. Unfortunately, couldn't be here today, but very much sends his well wishes. We've been able to donate not only in software grants and in training and education and curriculum, as well as the building out of the Makerspace, which was incredibly important to us because we feel as if we need to actually help the people that you're training here to learn some of those advanced high-tech degrees or some of the advanced learning and innovation that you'll see in the Makerspace. So I really encourage you to visit it. So we're thrilled to be here. We appreciate the partnership and all that you do for this city and worldwide. So thank you.
I now have the pleasure of introducing Adrian Schur, the Bay Area Giving Program Manager from Google. Google is supporting a Future of Work initiative that funds digital training and certification programs in partnership with Goodwill. And you spent your career supporting social impact initiatives throughout the Bay Area. So welcome.
Thank you so much. Before I get started, Chris, you also got to take my call too. So make sure we connect. That's right. Well, thank you all so much. Really appreciate the invite, and thank you for letting us join in this beautiful space opening. I'm really excited to be here. Like William mentioned, my name is Adrian, and I lead Google.org's Bay Area Giving. At Google.org, we really strive to connect nonprofit innovators with the best of Google. That includes resources and our capacity, our human capacity, specifically to ensure that everyone can participate in the digital economy like Chris is doing now. So thank you for being our spokesperson. The San Francisco Goodwill is one of the most innovative Goodwills in the country and a very near and dear partner to Google. And I can say this because we visited a whole lot of Goodwills across the country. In fact, it was this visit to San Francisco and our meeting with Tanya and William that actually inspired us to do a $10 million nationwide grant to Goodwills across the country. Since we supported this initiative, the Goodwill Digital Career Accelerator has supported over 93 Goodwills across the country and has helped more than 250,000 people receive training in digital skills that are required in the majority of jobs, much like the training that Chris has received. We're really proud of the fact that Goodwill is a part of this program and really proud of the fact that it was born here in the Bay Area in San Francisco in our home base. In particular, we're proud of the IT Support Professional Certificate, a program that teaches anyone the required skills for an entry-level IT role without the need for a bachelor's degree. 19 people have graduated from this program thanks to Goodwill in San Francisco, and we've had the honor of meeting many of these graduates, and y'all have met Chris here today, so really appreciate the work that y'all are doing. We're looking forward to hearing more stories like this one and more stories like Chris's, and looking forward to hearing about the impact that that this new community space will have on the acceleration of the economic opportunity. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Adrian. And last but not least, we have, I'd like to invite Mark Chucklebane and Adam Mayes. They have both from Phil Ting's office and from Kamala Harris's office, who would like to share a few words.
Thank you, Will. I'm Mark Checkelbane with Assemblymember Phil Ting. Something cathartic about being here 30 years ago, about this week. I bought my first Halloween costume when I moved to San Francisco. Think I was younger, thinner. Think Judy Garland. That was my goal at the time. Meet me in St. Louis version. About the time I met you too, Will. Actually, so Phil couldn't be here today, but San Francisco, I think you said, we're a city for everyone, that works for everyone, where everyone can work. There's something really powerful about that statement. The state legislature has worked very hard over the last 9 years to reduce prison sentences, review prison sentences, to make sure that we have opportunities for Californians. And Goodwill has been a leader in that, to allow people, as Mayor Breed said, with criminal histories, to able to get jobs. And we want to thank you. And for people with mental illness and mental health challenges, they say the best thing you can do for a person with a mental health issue is to get them a job. So we want to thank you, Goodwill, for all you've done. Thank you, Google, Microsoft, all the other corporate partners who've supported Goodwill. We can only turn around the challenges of our city with the work of everyone. And this is just a great example. And so on behalf of the State Assembly, I want to present you, Will, with this certificate congratulating the opening of this new facility.
Hi, my name is Adam Mayes, and I'm with the Senator Kamala Harris's office. She just wanted to send a quick note rather quickly over to you all, just in terms of congratulating you for this new space and taking an oath to break the cycles and generations of poverty. She was most interested in your work on working with the young adult court and making critical interventions with young people trying to change their lives. Goodwill SF is a longstanding champion of positive change for our communities. Best wishes on a grand opening on a new headquarters, Kamala Harris.
All right, so that is our program today. I just want to say, everyone, thank you so much for coming. I want to thank all of the Goodwill staff. And what we're going to do is there's going to be tours over here. So there's lots of classroom stuff, and there's also food. So please enjoy. Thank you all for coming very much.
Now go ahead and cut it.